Welcome to the Metal Prognosis. My name is Lee, and on today's video, and Piper, not Piper here too, hey. On this video, we are looking at the Kraken little lunchbox amp by Victory. Sorry, I'm having a bad start today. And inspired me to do this video was I was at a gig talking to some new buddies I met there for the first time, and they were all under the impression, not really the impression, but in the mindset of a good band should be able to get their sound purely just straight off their amp, and doesn't matter about anything else. They should just be able to work at that and don't need whatever, because I was kind of being a nerd, and looking at all the different pedals and setups that they've got. And, you know, they're right to their opinion. I got nothing against that opinion at all, but it doesn't fit on how I think. Now, how I like to do it is I always like to put a boost in front of it to see how much we can enhance it and really get the most out of it, rather than just going dry straight with your guitar in here. So what I thought was, I have my little Spark pedal here by, hopefully that focuses in, by TC Electronics, which is just a nice little, it's really hard to say that if it's dry or not. It's got 3 different settings here, fat, clean, and mid, but I'll do a clean boost to try not add too much flavor to it, just to see how much we can, well, the difference, pretty much the A-B comparison between when you have this on compared to just having it as is. And then we'll do some jams and do the usual discussion at the end and see how we go. So, cue the cute little cartoon intro and let me start plugging some stuff in and see how this all goes. All right, now I've got everything set up, ready to go. Grab my Omsby guitar here, tune to drop G, because it's fun. And this is a sound that we've got just coming out of the Victory amp, the Kraken. Just going to add a little bit more mids. Yeah, so just boosting up the mids and the treble there a bit. Just liven it up a bit. So at the moment, it's sounding good. If you were to be settled with this, absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But let's try it with a clean boost. So, here we have the Spark here. So what I'm going to do is turn the gain down because we don't need gain. Turn it on. Do a quick on and off comparison. So very little change there, but we want to crank the level to really push it, to push the signal going into the amp. Still not much difference. So the usual trick is to push, normally there's only a tone knob that you push up with a clean boost. Make sure that's going to stay in frame. But this has just got a treble and a bass, so. That brings it alive a lot. So it adds a hell of a lot more bite and aggression to it. I wonder if we take away a bit of bass, is that going to empty it too much? So the main thing with the bass is, how I feel anyway when I'm running through this stuff, is does it give it enough, like that bottom muting, nice chug sound. So we've still got that even though the bass is all the way down. Now, there are 3 different types of settings here. We've got fat, clean, and mid. So at the moment, it's just on clean, I think. Let's just chuck it on fat to see the difference. Clean. And mid. So we're getting a little bit of hiss coming through, but we're pushing things pretty hot, so that's to be expected. But that's sounding really, yeah, I like, gotta keep that in frame. I really like the mid sound, but even just the clean, like, compared to it off. So, it's no secret on how I feel. I definitely prefer it having some type of boost into it. But let's really put it to the test now. Let's do a bit of a jam. Should have turned that down. Do a bit of a jam. So double up on the guitars, add some bass and drums, and then see how it sounds. And I'll do a couple of jams. One with it off, one with it on, so we can get a really nice back-to-back test of it. Test, I don't really test is real word, right? Wow, that was a stumble of words. I don't know if test is the right word. It's a back-to-back comparison. That's the word I was thinking of and couldn't get out. Thank you, Stutter. So let's get through this part and get to the fun part. We get to hear the jam. So sit back and enjoy. So there we have the 3 different jams, one with just a Kraken on its own, and then 2 with 2 different settings from the Spark little boost pedal there by TC Electronics. So I might be a little bit, I don't know if bias is the right word, probably tunnel visioned in how I think on how I approach getting the type of sound that I want. And it's never always just from the amp. I always want to use some type of boost pedal to really help shape it. And now this one is, let me unplug it. And the cool thing about this is it's got the 3 different type of settings. Turn it off just so it doesn't get the hum coming through. And the really cool thing about this, hopefully that's going to focus in nice and good, how you got the fat, the clean, and the mid. So that's really cool. It gives you a low and like a bass and treble type of manipulation to it. And gain, if you want to use it, it's a little bit more of a overdrive, not just as a boost. But it just makes it, pushing the amp, having this in front of it, I feel just makes it a lot, I don't know if clean is the right word, definitely more tight. It tightens up the sound, and pushing that extra frequencies through the front of the amp really makes it shine the most, that you can't do just with a guitar. Even if you've got active pickups, they can play a large part as well, but it doesn't give the same effect as having a boost pedal. So going off what I heard a couple of people talking about at the last gig I was at, and a couple of people left in comments in previous videos I had, about having a high-end amp, as in a high-gain type of amp, isn't where you should stop at all. Putting boost pedals and other type of enhancing things definitely make a huge part with all the amps I've experienced with anyway. There are a few other amps I haven't really tried out, but even the emulated ones, the VST versions I've used, they still have boost pedals as options as well, because I don't know if it's just an option or if it's just because that is the better way to approach it. But as I said, I have tunnel vision on this, on how I approach it, but I'm definitely keen to hear what your thoughts are. How did you feel about the 3 different jams of just having the Kraken on compared to having it boosted by the Spark Boost? And yeah, and having it just as a clean boost too, instead of like something like the Fortin 33 that has a very awesome mid and bass cut boost, and other type of boost too that kind of like the Savage Drive or Precision Drive, things like that that have certain characteristics that you really hear, where this is more just, I feel anyway, a lot more dry in its approach. Now, I'm not saying dry is in a negative thing, because I reckon it sounded awesome, but yeah, definitely keen to hear what your thoughts are and how you like to approach it and how you think is the best way on, or what's your go-to, really, I should say. Out of all your experience, out of all you've done, what are your things? If you get new equipment, what are you like, all right, let's go from chain A, B, C. Because that's exactly what I do normally when I hear it. And sometimes I like to test it out just to see how much it's got to go. Like you might have seen other videos, like my first one with the Harley Benton Mighty 15th, I gave that a shot just by itself, and I was like, no, that definitely needs a boost and some help. Same as the Orange Dark Terror up there, and any other amp as well. I kind of like to see it first and then see how much I need to boost it. I've never come across an amp where I've been like, that is it. No more needs to be touched with it. But yeah, as I said, I could just be trapped in my own little echo chamber. And I appreciate you lasting this long in the discussion, as well as putting up with my stutter that I've had in this video. This is one of those days where sometimes stuttering is a lot worse than others. But thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and this little discussion that I had at the end, and I look forward to chatting with you next time. And until then, stay safe.